What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of 4 Dummies, and tonight I am joined with the other 3 dummies. I have Mr. Robert Detoff.
Hello!
I have just one.
Yo, what's happening?
And I have Mrs. Skullface. Hello. Well, leaning into it now, are you? And tonight we are going to talk about this Takara masterpiece, Jetfire, and all of the accoutrement and lovely things it can do and can't do, and whether or not we should switch out and how excited we get about it, and on and on. My stomach is already turning with nausea as we get started. Did anybody see this as the next logical step for them in their masterpiece line?
No.
I don't know that I've ever really seen them have like a logical next move anyway.
I don't know. I feel like when they did a redo of Prime, like having a redo of Bumblebee on deck seems logical, and like a redo of Starscream seems logical, and you know what I mean. And if you think about it, the Prime was not too long after the redo of Megatron. Like it was like all of those seem kind of logical to me.
So it's like they should have hit you with a sound wave next instead of this.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe a Jazz or a Blaster, because we got the Steeljaw repaint not like a couple years ago. It just seems you know,
we got the Seekers.
But that's what I mean. But like, because of like the copyright complications and trademark issues with this and Macross and who owns it and blah blah blah, I didn't expect to see this one.
What about the fact that we recently, like 2 weeks ago, there was like some secretive announcement of, you know, what do you call it when like two companies work together on something? It was
collaboration.
Oh yeah, between Bandai and
and Takara. Meanwhile, you have this Jetfire that they clearly have a Macross faceplate, Macross, like, you know, Gerwalk, and just a way to, you know, just have the wings down and stuff. Like, I thought they were doing that. They were announcing, we're finally getting along. We're friends now.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
No, not at all.
I don't know why. I mean, it looks right, but then also looks really wrong.
So I agree. This is leading up to a conversation that I'm going to be having, I think, on a sit-down Saturday or something at some time, but just like about this, like this tune fiasco, like, is going too far. It's going too far. You know what I mean?
Who did the Jetfire that you have?
Fans Toys.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, me too. But I mean, both. So I would say the Fans Toys is far more limited than this articulation wise, even though this one still doesn't have a waist swivel.
It
doesn't have those faces either. You're right about that. There's a lot of this tune stuff that ends up looking childish, like, because they're chasing this childlike aesthetic, and like I think it's jumping the shark.
Well, especially we've talked about it before, because the cartoon looked like trash.
Right.
From today's point of view, it's like, why are you building these things that looked terrible?
None of us saw that cartoon and envisioned in our mind's eye that any of those characters actually were supposed to look like that.
Right, right, exactly. It didn't look. It looked like your child imagination made it look like proportionally what it was supposed to look like.
Yeah, when I saw the Dreamwave, Pat Lee, Optimus Prime, and Megatron art for the first time, where like Optimus was standing on an Autobot symbol and Megatron was standing on a Decepticon symbol, but they were both like crouched down. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Right.
But when I saw those pieces of art, like it looked the same to me as when I was 5 years old and saw the cartoon. Like it
just hit right.
It was just like, oh yeah, that's clearly Optimus Prime. That's the same Optimus Prime I saw as a kid. And then I had to go back and look at the cartoon, like, oh no, those are different. This is like modern and cooler. I guess like the point is as a kid, that's how they looked and seemed to me. But like, when I saw that, I wasn't like, oh my God, look how cool and modern that looks. I was just like, oh, cool, Optimus Prime. That's Optimus Prime. That's the same Optimus Prime I've always known. It's just like the art caught up with my imagination.
Right.
You know, but now the creators are going back to a level below my imagination.
Right.
You know, like, I'm sorry, I'm just not like, and I understand those that are. I think it's weird, but I understand it. But I will say, like, I think a ton more character comes through in this than the Fans Toys. And like the only other options are the Mecha form, which, sorry, Dust, you know, we all know the story there, and then the Docket Toys. But I will say this, like, even though this has the limitation of the waist swivel, it shows how much more advanced Takara is in articulation to allow character to come through, versus specifically that dark time of Fans Toys that I actually think that they're crawling out of a bit now. But when I tried to make a point to everybody that, like, dudes, these figures are getting worse. But like, if you look at that Jetfire, like, it barely can move.
Articulation, I know, is a bigger deal to you than it is to me. Like, we've talked about that lupus for days. You know what I mean? So, but my thing about this this particular one, this masterpiece one, is especially in this photo that you have where it's like, you know, it looks like he's got his 1 foot up, he's kind of crouching a little bit, and I'm like, man, it's never gonna hold up. Like, you're never gonna be able, even in this picture, it's not a real pose.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Off.
But if you look at the picture where like he's shooting the rifle,
no,
right, that looks cool with the, like,
that's
the leg
gonna work.
bend.
That's gonna work.
No,
Yeah.
right there. Hold on 1 second. Full stop. When you are posing a figure or when you're judging a figure, do you like forgive transformation joints in lieu of articulation joints?
Maybe.
Because
Like if I have to open up a leg flap so I can get it
Look
back
at his
behind
shoulder
its thigh or something like
Look
that.
at his shoulders.
I know. On the one where you're shooting the rifle, you could see like you had to unnaturally hinge the shoulders, is what Robert's saying.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good with cheating it for like you can't cheat the fans toys, dude. You can't cheat it. Like, and I'm not switching out. I'm keeping my fans toys, but that fans toys figure, everybody has it posed one of 3 ways.
Right.
You either have it in a heroic A stance, you have it in the holding the gun across the body in an A stance, or you have it coming right out of the box because you don't know how to pose your figure.
What's the price of this MP Jetfire? Do we know?
It's not hateful.
Nope.
It's not hateful.
Let me guess. It's $329.
No,
so
it's
$269.
Which is crazy. Like, and I think that it's a great price for it.
I do too.
It makes me nervous. I mean, I'm not buying it. Be like, well, because wasn't the Megatron when it came
come
out?
on
The
now.
new one
You
was
can't. You can't have. We can't have it both ways, right?
it comes with minifigures.
We can't say it's too expensive. That's ridiculous.
Oh no. I think the price is good.
And then on the reverse say it's too inexpensive. It might not be good.
I respectfully disagree with you, Bobby. I think Jisk's reasoning is sound because there's no way in hell Hasbro or Takara is going to just dumb down their price for love of the collector, right?
Well, do you think that the price might have something to do with Hasbro and Takara seemingly working together?
No, I think it's the quality. I think the quality is going to be less, and I think
I don't know, man.
Because it is
like,
it is being sold. It's being sold on the Hasbro website.
Robert, did you buy
The quality's been less for a long time, and the price is still going up. Like that
Right.
Prime, I know it's Prime, but that Prime was over $300.
That's
the
a good
Megatron
point.
was, I think, this price.
But like the Hound, I think the Hound is the most egregious one. The Hound and the
But what's
Starscream.
the price of it, though? Listen, I don't think the price is bad. It just seems strange. That's, I guess, the best way to put it. It just seems out of place.
little fishy?
Yeah,
Fishy.
no, something's fishy. Something's
It's
fishy
very
here.
peculiar.
There is something fishy about the pricing in general. I think that the Masterpiece Skids is one of the better masterpieces they've made in some time. That figure, $90.
Wow.
$90. And it's one of the better ones I've handled from them in some time. It's better than Hound. It's better than Starscream. It's better than RC. RC's $150.
Well, how much does it bother you that they're doing another Gerwalk gimmick, and it's going to screw up the figure stability?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're doing it again. They don't care.
No company can help themselves. They love it.
Who cares about a Gerwalk? It's the dumbest thing.
There's a super select.
I don't know. I feel like you have to have it.
There's a swath of the nerddom that just like that is just, it's part of the DNA of it. And
I want to see somebody submit a photo.
It's like getting Prime without the trailer.
No, it's
you never use the trailer, but you need it.
I hear you, and I think it's a decent analogy that you're making, but it's not quite the same.
It's more like the trailer with Roller pulling it.
Yeah.
Like I have to pose.
But even that's in the cartoon. You know, even that has some sort of base. But like, so the other thing that I want to talk about before we get out of here are the alternate faces.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to know Laura's opinion on the alternate faces for a $269 toy.
I mean, just leave them out. I want just to see the straight face, which is the one they used for all their all their poses.
So that's a good point, but I want your opinion on the bad faces. But like, if the faces are so special and they're so proud of them, then why don't they use them for any of the promotional pictures outside of the face itself?
Yeah, I mean, because they look weird.
Like
that's why they don't use them.
Sometimes
I
less
almost
is more.
just wonder if they just put them in there to be able to say we have multiple faces, because it's like a thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like a thing to have multiple heads
Mm-hmm.
for a figure. They just like wanted to have multiple heads. So they have the like, smirk. And then they have the like the O face a little bit. And then they have the standard Transformer face.
None of those faces even strike me as being the most indicative of that character in the 2 episodes that he's mostly known for. there's a lot of like sadness and confusion with Jetfire from those episodes. Like, does any would it, like do Robert? Do you or just think of Jetfire as like a cheesing like ooh guys ooh the waffles?
No, never. That dude was just sad the whole time. Yeah. Sad dude.
Who's making waffles?
I would argue that Jetfire has since the beginning he provided a sense of depth and history to the characters, and there was sadness conveyed, and I wanted to know more.
Agreed.
You know,
he should have put that sad. They should have used that sad face in the promotion where he's got those two insignias. He's trying to decide between. That would have been the proper time to use that face.
or when they said that Hasbro was working with them on it, then they should have hit that face.
I mean, it's what I said before. I just think that his story arc, I always wanted more, and that it wasn't given, but that was okay. Like, that's what's cool about being a child and enjoying the series. It left stuff to your imagination, and you know, it goes along with the aesthetic. So you can't just give us the face value aesthetic. Don't give us baby faces because we didn't see them as babies.
Yeah,
that's why MP10 was so impressive.
Yeah,
you know.
With that being said, is anybody going to buy this? I am not.
I am.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, definitely. I'm in. I'm all the way in. I've pre-saled it on multiple websites.
Pre-saled it, huh? Laura and Laura and Jisk are out. Robert, who are you buying this from?
I don't even know, but I have one pre-ordered.
So, like,
I'm buying it.
Robert, one day we got to have a talk about all the things that you know aren't good, but you continue to pre-order.
It's your fault.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. No,
You're the one who wants a channel.
But like, don't put this on me. You would buy this regardless.
It's your fault. It's all your fault.
Yeah, man, a bunch of
Crab pretzel.
RC's thighs.
Jetfire's O-face.
I want to see some vegetables that Bobby will eat.
There you go.
I want to see the vegetable. I want to see.
And a still from the Motley Crue video, looks that kill.